YouTube, this is my spin on how to play that first pentatonic box that there's probably a million other YouTube videos out there for, but just wanted to give you guys my way to do it, show you how to play it first, and then show you how you can fit that for any other key. A lot of times what people show you is this one. And that is for C major, because that is the A minor pentatonic box. A minor is the corresponding minor relative of C major. So that's why that box is given first. But nobody really shows you how to move that box around based on the key. So there's all sorts of videos out there that show you how to find the key of a song. A lot of people will just slide up and down until they find that note that sounds good throughout all the progression in the song. And typically that is either the tonic or it's the fifth. I forget what the name of that is, but you're probably going to find what the key is pretty easily by doing that, just sliding up and down that E string. Anyway, once you've found the key, then you can drop 3 half steps to play in your minor pentatonic box, that box number 1 that we're going to learn here. I do intend to post 4 other videos on how to play the other 4 pentatonic boxes, and then you can start connecting the pentatonic boxes between. Okay, so having said all this, let's talk about how to actually play the box. We've got, if we're starting on our A minor pentatonic, pretending that we're in the key of C, we've got 5, 8. So 5 on that low E string. Pinky plays on the 8th fret. What you can do with your right hand that's picking, you can pick down, down. If you're going fast, you could pick down, up. So there's all sorts of different variations you can do, especially when you're switching strings. For now, we'll just go down, down. Next, we got 5, 7. So now instead of using your pinky, which would be assigned to that 8th fret, the ring finger is assigned to that 7th fret. So 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. So we have 3 5 7s in a row. That's really easy and convenient to remember. So there's 1 5 8, followed by 3 5 7s, and 2 5 8s. Excuse me, I'm getting a little sick, so I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. But anyway, 5 8 5 8 on the high E right there, and the B. Okay, walking through it again. 5 8, that's the low E string. 5 7 on the A. 5 7 on the D. 5 7 on the G string. 5 8 on the B string. 5 8 on the E string. And then if we're walking back down, it's 8 5, 8 5, 7 5, 7 5, 7 5, 8 5. Okay, one more time. 5 8 5 7 5 7 5 7 5 8 5 8 8 5 8 5 7 5 7 5 7 5 8 5. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get that wired in. Do that so much that it is impossible for you to forget, because that is a fundamental, basic building block. And eventually you want to get to the point where that is just so easy that you can do all sorts of other stuff on top of it. You can get the other filler notes in there, so you can start playing the modes and all that, but you gotta learn how to play that pentatonic box number 1 first. Then what I recommend doing is learning pentatonic box 2, 3, 4, and 5. I know there's millions of other videos that have similar stuff, and they've got the chord charts and everything. You're welcome to go ahead and look at those. But so I wanted to give some examples of how that shifts around on the fretboard for different keys though. So let's say we happen to switch to the key of G, right? So now what's the relative minor of G? To get to the relative minor, you can either look at the circle of fifths, have it memorized, or just know that you can walk 3 half steps down. So if I'm on the 15th fret up here, that's a G right there. If I'm on that 15th fret, I can walk down 1, 2, 3, and that puts me at E minor. So here is my pentatonic box for the key of G. Now, what's interesting about that? It's pretty high up here on the neck. So you can also play that down here, just with a bunch of open notes. So it's 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3. So the box is still there, it's just that nut is taking care of the notes, the open notes, instead of having to actually take care of the notes with that index finger. So those are the same. That's the same as this. It's just separated by a whole octave. So this is a whole octave up here on the neck. So that's one example. How about we pick another key? Let's say we're in the key of D. Okay, here's D. D is on our 10th fret on the low E. So what do? We do the same thing. We walk down 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. That is our relative minor, B minor. And again, here would be the pentatonic minor for that key of D. Now, with this one, it's a little different. I can't just hop all the way down here and play it. The guitar neck doesn't extend down that far. And it's not really necessarily an octave up here. So this is where knowing the other box shapes will come in handy. So that way you can play a little bit more than just this. You can slide up here. You want to be able to slide all up and down the neck, and that's the purpose of learning these other box shapes. Some other things to think about that can make your playing really interesting while you are playing. We'll go back to our A minor in the key of C here. But what's boring about this? Our ear gets used to it really fast, and why is that? It's bland, and it's because you're going in such a linear fashion. We're just playing one note and we're walking. It'd be like being at a dance and doing the same dance move over and over again. We're not mixing it up. So you got to mix it up a little bit. And one way to do that is skipping strings. So instead of going 5, 8, and 5, 7 to the next string, you can go 5, 8, 5, 7. Like, that's way more interesting than this. Or it could be more interesting if you switch it up. You know, you could go that kind of thing, or you could go 5, 8, 7, 5. So skipping strings is one way to spice it up. Slides is another way to spice it up. So you can go. That's what I was doing in that intro little doodle thing I was doing. Hammer-ons is another really important one to do. So, and then you also have vibrato. So I'm not the best at it, but you want to wiggle that string and see if you can get a little bit of vibrato in there that pushes the sound up and down over the note and brings this fullness that is really pleasing to the ear. So you've got vibrato, slides, hammer-ons, and once you're messing around, try to spice it up by doing jumps. So that kind of thing. And once you get really comfortable with playing that pentatonic box number 1, and you're able to pick out the key when you're listening to a song, and figure out where to put that pentatonic box anywhere on the neck for any key, that's when I would move on to pentatonic box 2. And once you've got pentatonic box 2, move on to pentatonic box 3, and so on until, for any key, for any song, you can play the pentatonics like it's nothing. It's just you're sliding around, you got all those notes wired in your mind, and you've practiced them so much that you are a complete savant with them. And that's the goal of all this. So I hope this helped. This is kind of a random, spontaneous video, but I'm gonna post 4 more of these for the other 4 pentatonic boxes, and hopefully have some examples for different keys, etc., and how to play all these blues scales and stuff for any key. So hope this helped. If this did, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, rest of your year, whatever time marker you're using.